Welcome one and all to the rolling greens of Old Palmetto here in Greenville, South Carolina, where today's match is presented by CISA. The great playoff steeplechase sets off tonight in the USL League One. We look towards September. It's Greenville Triumph and Portland Hearts of Pine squared up and ready for the run-in. Howdy folks, Peyton Gallagher here with Ross Davenport and Greenville tonight in a new warm-up top, certainly spotlighting Prisma's ongoing contribution in the community and what they do for the greater Greenville area. Those will be available for auction after today's match, but as for today's match, partner, we look at one of Greenville's leading lights, Connor Evans, stirring the drink in the chance creation department.
Yeah, the rookie out of the other Portland, Oregon. He's been a revelation in the midfield for Greenville, either out wide or centrally. Last time out in the loss to Texoma, came off the bench for the first time this season, 12 crosses in 45 minutes. Look for him perhaps out wide again tonight. We'll see, getting involved, creating chances for Papa Mensah and Rodrigo Robles as well as being the main set piece man.
And setting the table, literally and figuratively, the stakes of this game. Portland Hearts of Pine propelled back above that playoff line. A result at the weekend against Charlotte. Greenville work to do just behind the pack.
Yeah, 3 points for the Triumph tonight would tie them with 27 points with Portland, but look at the games played. Portland will still have 2 games in hand, which could come to be crucial down the stretch.
Of course, Portland also hold the edge in the direct tiebreaker department as they won the last meeting with Greenville. This was a bit of a nightmarish day in Maine for the home side today as Portland took it 3-1.
Yeah, Greenville outshot Portland 16-11. 11 of those shots coming inside the box, but took the 3-1 loss. 2 really poor goals given up, which has been a theme all season, unfortunately, for Greenville. One through Seth Tolman's legs, and a giveaway by Evan Lee handed a brace to Titus Washington. Greenville will be out for revenge tonight.
Of course, not pictured there is this man, Ollie Wright, our player to watch for Portland. Has been in excellent form as of late. Did not score in that first meeting with Greenville, but overall 5 goal contributions in his last 2 games, the player of the week in the league.
Yeah, the man out of the academies of Fulham and Brentford's made quite an impact in his debut League One season. 7 goals in all comps. Look for him against right backs Toby Sims in one of the key matchups this evening.
A big-time brawl in South Carolina at the playoff border set to unfold. Here coming up on the other side of a break, it's Greenville Triumph and Portland Hearts of Pine engaged in the USL League One. Getting down to the nitty-gritty in this season. That's on the way after this.
Every day, we get the privilege to serve you.
Sharing local stories on all your screens.
The first alert on breaking news sent through the Fox Carolina News app.
Serving you with the earliest heads up on storms through the Fox Carolina First Alert weather app. Live and on-demand newscasts.
Fox Carolina Investigations.
On your streaming TV.
Your stories told right here. Fox Carolina News.
I'm Rick Wright, head coach of the Greenville Triumph Soccer Club. The Triumph play here on Palmetto Sports and Entertainment.
Watch using antenna on channel 21.2 or on Spectrum 703. The Greenville Triumph play here, Palmetto Sports.
El Greenville Triumph y Liberty están orgullosos de asociarse con Telemundo Carolina del Sur. Vean Telemundo Carolina del Sur para mantenerte informado con noticias locales en español y disfrutar de toda la increíble programación de Telemundo. Disponible gratis con antena en el canal 31.1.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental dental care, from our family to yours.
Teams making their way to the field. It's Portland Hearts of Pine and Greenville Triumph. Tonight's match is presented by CISA. For the lineups for these 2 teams and how they will set up today for Greenville Triumph, people in places, Ross. I'll let you do the rest. Rick Wright up to his regular shenanigans.
Yes, 4 changes from that 1-0 loss to Texoma. A couple of Saturdays ago. Out go Benton, Soto, Zakowski, and Marsh. In come Sims, Evans, Robles, and Evan Lee getting his first start since mid-July. The new dab, we'll see exactly where he lines up. Could it be centrally? Could be a little wider. We'll see how it all plans out.
Wholesale change off the 10-day layoff for Greenville. It is the opposite side of the coin for Bobby Murphy and company, playing excellently these last couple matches. Only the one shift as Patrick Langlois is inserted to the base of that midfield.
Yeah, starting to round into form at the right time, as you mentioned, Peyton. Just that one change from Saturday's 4-2 win against Charlotte. Out goes Sega Koulibaly. Mikey Lopez drops back to right back. Sean Vinberg back to his usual center back spot. Titus Washington still not 100%. He's on the bench.
Lovely little sunset here in South Carolina as it casts its glow over the field. Portland Hearts of Pine and Greenville triumph. Portland have exploded offensively over these last couple of games, outbursting for 7 goals against Westchester last week, as well as the big result at the weekend over Charlotte Independence, where they scored 4, the most they have ever scored in the USL League One. It is a gorgeous day. The weather report brought to you by Fox Carolina as we are set to go. Peyton Gallagher here with Ross Davenport. Greenville were in such good straits ahead of that match 10 days ago against Texoma and got their bell rung, falling 1-0 in that one. Trying to wash that bitter taste that's been sitting in their mouth over the last week and a half. Away here today against a red-hot Portland side.
Yeah, Portland attacking the left side of this Greenville formation, which is where 2 of their goals came from in the last matchup. Taylor Pollack had a bit of trouble with Kamara that evening. Kamara on the bench tonight.
Fanciful touch from Varela. And off the carom, it's out for a straightaway corner as you get confirmation of exactly how the temperature will feel for these teams. It gets turned up immediately on Greenville Triumph, but 75 degrees on the thermometer as we step into this contest.
Yeah, Noah Kavifta, former FIU man, probably the main target here. Got some serious height on him, just signed a few weeks ago.
Portland Hearts of Pine will be well acquainted with the statistic, but worth mentioning again. They are the only team in the league that has yet to score a corner kick goal to this point in the season. They have a chance to maybe get their first 60 seconds in. Nathan Messer casting a long shadow over top the opportunity. And something was left on the field from the pre-match warm-up, so center official Mario Marach will rectify that particular situation. Within swing, bubbled away at the near post. Gunther Rankenberg put in a precarious position, and Greenville are not all the way off the hook. Belted high and wide by oncoming Ropapa Mensah. And play is stopped for an illegal interference by Michel Poonangeron. Greenville wanted to go fast. Poonangeron did not allow that. It's an instant yellow card.
Yeah, the referee wasn't going to give it initially. This is one of those ones that referees aren't particularly consistent with, giving the yellow for stop at the quick restart. It's a difficult one, because if you're going to give the yellow, you should give it before he even kicks it. Interesting one, but Poonangeron's got to keep himself behaved here the rest of the way.
Another engagement out there at the touchline. Greenville have it for a throw. Off the chest of Ropapa Mensah. And Portland's hook it out for another throw-in.
It does look like Kevin Lee will be going centrally along with Connor Evans. Corvino on the right. Robles perhaps a little further out to the left. We'll see. Very fluid setup always from Rick Wright, especially on the front foot side of things.
Sims preparing the long throw. It's been well documented that Greenville have yet to field the same starting 11 in any game this year. Pumped in towards Hunter Morse, who makes an easy save. He had 5 of them in the last meeting between these two teams up in the state of Maine.
Yeah, Toby Sims with that throw. He's been a fixture in the Greenville lineup since coming over from Harrogate Town in England, but didn't start the last game, has been dealing with a bit of a groin injury.
Mikey Lopez with a bit of whimsy on the ball, for good and for bad, as he's given it away. And Zane Bupp just on Toby Sims coming back into the team today after not starting for the first time since that acquisition. Last one against Texoma. Rodrigo Robles wriggling out of trouble, and now it's Evan Lee. Can't send in the oncoming run of Pascal Cordino.
Yeah, Toby Sims obviously played a full season in England before coming over. Rick Wright knows he's got to be a little careful with Sims' legs here over the last few weeks of the season. But obviously, with a playoff fight on their hands, it's going to be difficult to keep him out of the starting lineup.
Papa Mensah unable to untangle himself off the head of Messer. It is something that Rick Wright has right at the top of mind, how to manage his team and dealing with the congestion added by that run in the Jägermeister Cup. Greenville thinking about their matchup against Hartford in the semifinal coming up. That's why the team was rotated after the midweek against Indy 11 and preceded their last game against Texoma. Punanjaran and Ollie Wright. Ollie Wright, a goal and an assist against Westchester, followed up immediately by an even better showing against Charlotte, 2 assists in that game, as well as the clinching goal. A scouting ball from Kamali Green, plated for Ollie Wright, who was shielded from the ball by Zane Bupp. Ollie Wright's down. Pulled up awkwardly right there at the end line.
Let's take a look right here. I'm sure Rick Wright told his men to be physical. I mean, that was more Ollie Wright's fault than anything. He sort of pulled Zane Bupp over onto his own leg. No need for that. It's some serious pain. Grabbing his right foot. Seems to be. Let's see if we can see if he comes back on.
Player that has matured his game exponentially this year. Just talking to Bobby Murphy in the build-up to this one. If you revisit that goal that he scored against Charlotte, the full field run that he hopped on his horse to make. Not sure that that's a run that he's making at the start of the year, in the words of his manager. Masashi Wada aiding in the press. Now Walter Varela waiting on the overlap. It's Mikey Lopez stepping in at fullback today, flashing in across. And with a hop, it's helped out of play for a goal kick. Lopez at right back in this one. Sean Vinberg started there in the last match. Sega Koulibaly had locked himself into that right-sided center back spot in these last couple weeks, but not in the team today. Vinberg back to that natural center back habitat for him, and Lopez at fullback, where in previous renditions of his career with Birmingham Legion, he was the USL Championship Defender of the Year. Now playing in the base of midfield.
Well, Vinberg did look like a center back when he scored that
Very
goal
true.
on the weekend. It was a fine placed finish inside the far post.
Mikey Lopez is chopped out by Tyler Bolak. It was a point of discourse, you might say, within the camp, and it was confirmed, at least to me, that it was a shot, not a cross from Vinberg.
Of course he's going to say that.
Bobby Murphy did say that if it were a cross, it wasn't a very good one.
Speaking of goals, we got one early in the other match tonight. Emiliano Terzaghi on the score sheet for Richmond in the battle of the basement there.
That is thoroughly unsurprising. The last couple of games between those two have been absolute track meets.
Keep you abreast of the situation there in upstate New York.
Richmond attempting to do what they have done the last couple of seasons and make that end-of-year push. Just sneaking above the line, but things of that nature are getting harder in the current state of the USL League One. The extra teams coming in requires a higher clearance of that bar.
Win for Richmond tonight would get them potentially within 4 points of the playoff line, even maybe potentially 3. Everything is very, very tight between 13th and 8th.
Sims in.
Oh dear, oh what a save.
Hunter Morse helps it over the bar. He has been a big bright spot for Portland, and Big Red makes the stop.
1-2 here. Sims, he's been so good on those crosses. That's an amazing save by Morse, especially coming off the head of his own teammate. You're not expecting the shot. Man, it's going to be up for save of the year, not the save of the week.
The Michigander makes sure it has remained scoreless 9 minutes in. Sharpening the blade, Greenville triumph. The corner kick taken short. In by Robles. Not fully cleared. Corvino has a stab. Bit of a blind ball in behind. It proves difficult to deal with for Langlois. Bub. And it's just lost out on creating any meaningful opportunity, and it is finally a goal kick. Ross, the keys to the match as you see them.
Yeah, we can sort of combine these two into one, I think. Greenville, they have to limit the transitions. So what Portland did against Charlotte over the weekend, they can get going from one end to the other very, very quickly. I think Rick Wright will be telling his men not to change their game, just to be keeping an eye on the guy you're marking. You've seen Greenville push players up, especially on set pieces on occasion. It's burned them. Oh, listen, I don't think you want to change your identity. Foul here. Ooh. External high elbow from Chap Herrera.
Sashiwada, who scored against Greenville in the first meeting, scored last match, the one who took the blow.
Goes for Greenville. We talked about it, you and I talked about it before the game, just limiting the individual mistakes. Rick Wright said this week there's been something that's plaguing them all season. They had the two in that loss to Portland earlier this season, the one against Texoma. Very rare giveaway from Brandon Fricky.
Varela at least test the palms of Gunther Rankenberg, who is able to push it beyond the post. It will be a corner for Portland Hearts of Pine, but both goalkeepers called upon early.
Yeah, Gunther Rankenberg, as you can see there, looking into the sun. This one was well struck by Varela. It was good ways out. Sort of an awkward save by Rankenberg. Looked like he may have misjudged it slightly, but got enough on it to get it out of play.
Swept in by Ollie Wright. Was an oncoming wave of runners at that near post, but he did a calmer and more convicted finish from Patrick Langlois. It's a goal kick. Sent skyward by Rankenberg. No Leo Castro again in the team today, but Ropapa Mensah able to make good on the front end, and now Pascal Corvino, reinforcements arriving. Ropapa Mensah in the corner. The cross comes, gliding over the head of both Robles and Evans.
Yeah, if Leo Castro would have been there on that one, so he perhaps would have got ahead on it. He hasn't played since July 20th. Leo Castro dealing with a toe injury. And well, Sebastian Velasquez, we've seen him for 7 minutes since the beginning of June. Not listed on the injury report, not sure exactly what's going on there, but certainly out of favor with Rick Wright at the moment when it comes to the 18.
Only one appearance for Velasquez in the last 16 games. Seen a lot of faces this year for Greenville triumph. It does seem like things are starting to solidify in this final stage. Ollie Wright stepping in and winning high. It's Ollie Wright. Ollie Wright off a deflection of Kavifta and pushed off the end line. That looked like he was charting for the back of the net. Another cross from Messer, and this is much less anxious work from Gunther Rankenberg.
Yeah, good turnover in the final third, forcing the mistake. Giving those sloppy balls across the face of goal like that. Cut back inside to right, traffic in the middle. Kavifta, his own man, getting in the way there. You're trying to set the screen perhaps. A little unlucky there. This is ball back in, claimed nicely by Rankenberg.
It appears Portland have won a set piece. Ollie Wright retrieving for a corner kick. Taken immediately to Messer. Ollie Wright has a better angle now. Nathan Messer in from deep. Speared back by Toby Sims and now latched onto by Walter Varela. Greenville backline all out of sorts in the second phase of the corner. Messer tearing at the seams as Ollie Wright. An early ball. takes a hazardous glance off of Pat Langlois, up and over.
Yeah, thankfully for Greenville, because Tyler Polak at right back for a second there. Toby Sims a left back. Discombobulated after that set piece. Portland putting the pressure on here, looking for that opening goal that would certainly change the outlook of this game.
Can be so tough for a defender stepping to only right. Has this really unpredictable nature in his movement, always trying to synthesize the chance. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Throw in, set to be hoisted back in play by Mikey Lopez. Quarter hour gone. This is much more the tempo that would be fancied by Portland Hearts of Pine.
Yeah, it's been end-to-end stuff. Even over these midweek matches, especially one team coming off a game on the weekend, one with a bit of a long break.
Kavifta in pursuit, back as the starting 9 today and consecutive matches for him. Titus Washington is waiting in the wings in this one. Had a late tweak that saw him out of the team against Charlotte. He is available if required late on. He had a brace against Greenville in the first meeting.
You know, Kavifta will be very happy. His FAU Owls men's soccer team ranked in the top 25 for the first time in what seems forever, 30 years, I think.
His FAU Owls, your FAU Owls. This is Ropapa Mensah, who will needle through and find the go-ahead goal. Ropapa Mensah meets the mark, and Greenville jump out in front.
Talked to Rick Wright this week. That's just poor defending. Header up in the air. You can't leave a man like that, Ropapa Mensah, to get on the end of a ball given to you on a platter by Kamali Green, and Ropapa Mensah makes it pay with a lovely first time finish. Almost a great save again by Hunter Morse. Couldn't get a hand on it though. Rick Wright said he's really been working hard, obviously up there in place of Leo Castro. Really worked with him on his finishing, Rick Wright said this week, and it showed right there.
So well taken. A goal that is finished with an elementary touch. It's presented by the YMCA of Greenville. And Ropapa Mensah, for the second time this year in the league, has found the back of the net. It is something of a stunner. Comes a little bit against the run of play.
For sure, yeah. Rick Wright said he was doing well in training. He thought he would do well today. Prediction has come true so far here. Love an early goal at home.
Now it should also be counterpointed, as Greenville are smiling right now, that Portland have been able to pick up the third most points from losing positions on the road this year. Just a note on their resolve. They've done it to the tune of 7 points collected over the course of the campaign. Vinberg back into Hunter Morse. An uncharacteristic mistake from Portland's. Seen Greenville make similar actions plenty of times this year. Masashi Wada. Brendan Fricke is step for step. It's out for a throw.
Yeah, Kamali Green will certainly want that header back. Just misjudged it a little bit. The last thing you want to do, put it back towards goal. Of course, it took a good bit of anticipation from Ropapa Mensah as well.
Portland were able to snatch all 3 points from the losing position the last time they made a venture to foreign lands as they came from behind against Westchester. Story all too familiar to those of Soccer County. I believe the number is now 33 points surrendered from winning positions for Westchester SC.
That's insane. It's one of those things though, as the season goes on, you start to think about it at the back of your head. It's almost back when Chattanooga were the heart attack kids, always coming from behind against opponents. They thought they could do it every time. Westchester get that lead. Just giving them away like candy.
A trend that started on this field so long ago on match week 1. So went ahead on opening day against Greenville 1-0, and Sebastian Velasquez, who stole it back in that one. Nodded along, Polak gets a sniff. Skips off the foot of Corvino in midfield. It's out for a throw.
8 total shots between the two teams so far in its first 18 minutes. Bright start to this midweek evening game.
You get the sense that one probably will not be enough on the day for Greenville. Goes forward towards Connor Evans, who noses in. Sends the shot spiraling. It took no deflection. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, Evans popping up now in the right channel. It's been all over this midfield so far. It's a nice little first touch. Good job by Punejeron. Getting enough of the body on him just to put him off balance a little bit. Resulted in the shot flying high into the Greenville night.
Connor Evans has been one of the league's best, but it's almost always been in the hidden values. Only one goal on the year in the league. I believe that came against Richmond. Varela about faces and waits the ball well. It's Mikey Lopez first time. That proves ill-advised as Rankenberg is able to claim. Download the Fan Saves app and follow the Triumph for access to exclusive deals at your favorite restaurants and breweries.
That'll be a short turnaround for Greenville this weekend with a trip to Naples. Portland off this weekend, so they will be back in action on the 13th. That's why we're talking to Rick Wright about the turnaround, obviously with the big game coming up against Hartford as well, where their priorities are. It will really depend if they can pick up the 3 points here. So to get a free shot in both of those games. Hartford playing so well, obviously, in the USL Championship. The game could have been played in Greenville, but obviously had some troubles getting venues.
One is toppled, and just in that, it's such an awkward position for Rick Wright trying to manage these two situations. You know, Hartford likely a winnable game. Greenville have proven their worth in this competition and have beaten plenty of championship sides. But do you do that at the cost of potentially putting yourself in the best position to make the playoffs in the league? It's a question he has to answer. He went for the rotation against Texoma. That certainly hurt Greenville on that day.
I think, as I said, if you win this one, I think perhaps you rotate a little bit going into Naples and then go full tilt in that Hartford game. We have a home match, at least after that one, on the 13th against Tormenta.
Ross, you've been around this club as long as anybody, as Polak is putting a bind at the touchline. Would that be the biggest game if they got to the final Greenville in their club's history?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Obviously, I think reaching the championship game in the
Sure.
first year, losing to, as we know now, right, one of the best USL League One sides in history, North Texas. And Greenville dominated that game. They really should have won that final back in 2019, but I think certainly the biggest game since then, you'd have to say.
As they prep for this corner kick, if they are to win, it would be a date with the winner of Rhode Island FC and Sacramento Republic on the other side of the bracket.
Listen, they've done well against a bunch of championship sides this year. So they beat Charleston. Now they're in the cup as well.
Miami too.
Miami, yeah, the 1-0 smash and grab up there in Charleston, which looks really good now, all things considered, how Charleston are doing this season. Yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully some of the Greenville fans will be able to make the trip up there. Nothing like some cup competition on the road. Certainly, I imagine, not the easiest place to get to for Greenville, but it doesn't happen too often you reach semi-final of a cup competition.
Hartford was teasing something on their social media today. It was a picture of a bunch of trophies and golden boots. Maybe a replacement for the recently departed Dien, their striker. Things are happening in Hartford.
They are.
People are saying Hartford has it.
It's been a while. Good to see them playing well.
Hashtag sources say. Rolled in for Zane Bupp.
Yeah, the pace of this game slowed down a little bit here over the last 5 minutes or so. Ooh, almost a gift right to the feet of Rapapa Mensah again.
Messer. Wada has taken the bang again, this time at the hand of Zane Bupp.
Bupp is going to have a real good Zane Bupp here. Taking another look at this one. This is certainly a little contact from behind. Bob with certainly a few pounds on Wilder was always going to win that aerial duel battle.
Do you want to guess how many pounds? We'll do it like the county fair.
I'm not going to. I'm going to behave myself tonight.
Answer is 51.
I'll take your word for it.
Musashi won on 150. Nice and neat. Round number, 201 pounds, the listed weight for Zane Bob. Michel Poon-Angeron, halfway gone in this first half.
Man with the only yellow card so far. It was an early one. It's going to make him think twice about those tackles from behind like Zane Bob just made.
Really lost the ball there. Langlois kept in circulation for Kamali Grain. Pounded maybe into the giveaway. He is. Chapo Herrera. Greenville trying to widen their wings. Mensah never really got full purchase of it. Evans does! And darted into the block. Now the counter might be on Toby Sims, not having any of it.
Big interception there by Sims, who was a little out of position. Zane Bob was covering back for him. Apologies for the voice tonight, by the way. A little under the weather. Make it through, hopefully.
I got your back.
A little raspy.
Fill in the gaps for you.
I do take full responsibility for myself feeling under the weather.
I blame Oasis.
That may have been part of it. The trip to Chicago to see the boys for 16 years.
Prepping the free kick is Connor Evans. Much has been made about his particular proficiency from the dead ball. Leading the league in dead ball chance creation on the year. These are the two best indirect free kick scoring sides in the USL League One. Portland and Greenville each having scored a minimum of 4 apiece. In by Evans. It hits the head of Toby Sims as St. Bob was lurking in the tall grass just alongside. Nothing more than a goal kick.
Yeah, Greenville do love those far post free kicks. Toby Sims should have done a little better. They just mistimed his jump a little bit. Ball just got away from him.
Skimming off the head of Kvyefta. Greenville have done a good job of exerting control on the game after the go-ahead.
Yeah, certainly has helped them settle down into their shape. It was running helter-skelter. This one for the first 15 or so minutes. Performances go right at the quarter-hour mark. There's a difference so far in this one.
Claimable for Chapo Herrera, who scoops one high and wide. Corvino firmly as the right-sided winger in this team sheet today. Could have played on either of the two flanks, but this time he's not able to solve the riddle of the defense of Portland. Greenville go it again. Herrera. Portland playing on that tighter surface in Fitzpatrick Stadium. A team that loves to press. They won't alter the approach against Greenville today, but we'll have to cover much more ground to do so. They've been the best pressing team in terms of takeaways in the league, as they force it out for a throw there. Visit shoptriumph.com to check out the latest merch and kit launches, I should say. Papa Mensah throwing one into Corvino, who cuts it along to Evans, who stings the palms of Hunter Morse.
Connor Evans finding himself in some good positions tonight, just outside the box. Corvino saw him coming and laid it off for him. It's a good first-time strike right at Morse.
So how are you seeing the way that Rick Wright has assembled the team today? Where is everybody set up in their attacking roles?
Yeah, I think this is almost as fluid as I've seen it. We've seen Connor Evans on the left and the right, Evan Lee on the left and the right. Robles, as usual, all over the place. Certainly gives players on Portland's side things to think about. Who am I marking on this occasion?
Tune in September 10th for the Jägermeister Cup semifinals. 38 clubs down to the final four now. Rhode Island FC take on Sacramento Republic. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then League One contender Greenville Triumph battling with Hartford Athletic. That's at 7:30 p.m. all on ESPN+. Box office.
It's going to be fun stuff. Mr. Connor Evans with 2 shots already tonight. His high on the season is 3. He's done that 4 times. So a good start for him offensively. Pepping up on that right channel.
Foul given, it appears, against Greenville Triumph.
I think the only consistent we've seen from this front 6 is Chapa Herrera, just sitting in the little 6 spot there. Everybody else ahead of him just making those mazy runs all over the place.
Chapa Herrera starting to look much more like his old self. Surpassed 60 touches each of the last 6 games, only hit that mark 7 times. The 13 games that preceded this good run of play. Michel, Poon, and Geron escorting one back into the regions of Gunther Rankenberg. Of course, it was Seth Torman who started the last game between these two teams. A good story on that here in a moment, but first, a good time to tell you that if you visit shoptriumph.com, you can check out the latest merch and kit launches. Here's Pascal Corvino, just finishing up on Torman there. Fans of both these teams will know well the mistake that he made in that one. Maybe more on that on the other side of this chance. Kvifta just missing out to Toby Sims, and finally the avenue to actually share something quite heartwarming. Rick Wright said that when that game finished, Portland fans found Seth Torman in the team hotel and made sure that he was in good spirits and that he didn't feel like he was defined by that mistake. Just a sign of what Portland have built with the fan culture and community they have as their team, their hearts, prepare for this corner kick.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
As is this one potentially. It was a ball that was teasing in at the near post, and the Greenville defender not touched this. It may have been an Olympico.
Slowly trying to sneak it inside that near post. There's a couple of defenders there. Rankenberg scrambling over.
I've got to be honest, I don't think Rankenberg gets there.
Certainly hit with potentially enough pace.
Nathan Messer will try it from the other side. Similar shape on the ball. And a similar result. Greenville might have a counter on. And preventing it is Walter Varela.
Yeah, smart foul there from Varela. He knew what was potentially on. Surprised he didn't get a talking to there. Yeah, that may have been harsh, but clearly only one thing on his mind. That was to slow down the potential attack.
Heavier legs this time of year and higher intensity and stakes. You always expect the physicality of games to ratchet up as we leave the summer months.
I saw some orange in the Greenville trees from a distance today. Temperatures perhaps dropping here over the next few weeks a little bit. I'm sure these players won't mind too much.
Referees hoping the orange stays in the leaves themselves and not in their decision making. Here's Chapa Herrera.
Yeah, we all know about those orange card decisions, yes.
Polak. Robles in the box. Measures a ball that just gets away from Ropapa Mensah. And now Ollie Wright with runway.
Yeah, right idea from Robles, just a little too much gas on it. Papa was ready to leap like a salmon and nod that one in, but couldn't get up enough.
Messer, a reflective touch, gets away from Evans, but Sims swoops in. Greenville have effectively walled off this particular fancied flank from Portland. They love to play down this left-hand side of theirs. Not had much luck today. Herrera. Corvino. A useful touch and pass and Lee, and Robles, and kicked away by Hunter Morse. A hypnotic move from Greenville Triumph entranced everybody but the Portland keeper.
Yeah, confidence growing with this Greenville side as this half progresses. See Morse with that big save earlier off the head of his own man. That one's stifling another quality chance for the home team, keeping this game at 1-0.
Tell you what, it certainly looks and feels like one of these teams played at the weekend and the other has had 10 days of rest. Ollie Wright looking to jumpstart the heart. He's left the ball behind him. Evan Lee. And Robles with rumbling room. Herrera for company. Robles goes in himself and has it blocked.
Yeah, Rick Wright was saying midweek how many games this season that goalkeepers against them have had the games of their life. This was a lovely ball in by Evan Lee. Robles just kind of scuffed his first attempt, his one attempt at it, I should say. Didn't look to see where, take a look to see where Morse was, but he was in the right spot. Some better contact and it could have perhaps been 2-0, but that man keeping it 1-0 for now.
Made a couple excellent stops today. Been one of the league's best. Mentioned he had 5 saves in the prior matchup between these two teams. He is certainly right amongst the thick of it for the league's Golden Glove Award at the end of the year. Oh, that is some special tackle from Brendan Fricke. In his own right, contending for all-league distinction at the end of the campaign. Sims scraping the sky and in for Corvino, who holds off Messer with a shove. Has won a free kick in a dangerous region.
Yeah, Nathan Messer was trying to be careful. Not sure how much contact there was. He certainly, Corvino was going that way. There wasn't a ton of it, but just enough for Messer to knock Corvino off balance. And he's still down. The turf bits all over him. The tiger tattoo on the knee, it had to hurt.
You know, I've never gotten any proof that you do not have a tiger tattoo on your knee. Just saying. A Schrodinger's cat situation, if you will. Big cat. Of course, more important things taking place. Here's Connor Evans. Connor Evans gliding one in. Portland make short work of it. So not fully away. Toby Sims tracking it over the shoulder. Flag has remained down. Walter Vra remains with 10 toes down and takes it back.
Some break.
USL on the CBS Sports Networks kicks off September with a League One battle. Playoff contenders Spokane Velocity take on newcomer Westchester SC Sunday, September 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network.
And some breaking USL League One news in the middle of this game. The New York Cosmos have announced they will announce their coach tomorrow morning on CBS Sports Galazo, 9:15 a.m. Any predictions, Hunter? I know you're sometimes a man of USL League One inside info. You have any? Obviously, don't give it away.
If I speak, I am in trouble.
It's not me, I'll tell you that.
Really?
I was a finalist.
Kavifta lets it roll and jabbed off its course by Zane Butt. Masashi Wada was giving it chase. Portland trying to put a twist in the tail. Ahead of halftime. Shampoo Angeron and Lopez, and now moved back smoothly by Pat Lingua. Kamali Green. And Messer gets going. Ollie Wright. Toby Sims has had Ollie Wright in his sights all game. Gives him a little shove at the end there. Try to barbs between two countrymen.
Yeah, said in the open that was going to be one of the matchups to watch. Toby Sims winning it so far tonight, but we know all it takes with Ollie Wright is a split second and half a yard of space, and he can make you pay.
Evans loses the leash on it. Varela loses the game of pinball.
We talked to Rick Wright a little bit about that Asmir Spengler winner. He said quality, so the most quality player on that pitch that night, and what a strike it was. He said most players wouldn't have even shot that first time. They would have tried to take another touch or two. It was a fine finish to win that game for Texoma.
Searching for the feet of Ropapa Mensah, who holds off Kamali Green. It showed him too much of the ball in the ends.
Greenville with 4 shots on target in this first half. Portland just the 1.
Portland were the aggressor early on, but Greenville activated ever since they found that goal to go ahead, provided by Ropapa Mensah. Chapa Herrera. Sims with room to cross. It's once more Ropapa Mensah, but it's a thankless try in the end.
He's finding himself in the right spots at the right time. He hasn't been able to add to his tally so far. Rick Wright would love a second goal here before the half.
One thing is for sure, Ropapa Mensah will have a monstrous appetite for goal after the long league goal drought he had. When he had scored that first of the year, he had gone 308 days between league goals. This is Rodrigo Robles, who's gone far less time this year between contributions, but in this moment he loses out and then gets it back. And sweetly moves it along for Tyler Polak, who's lost the ball now to Varela. It's close quarters in this one.
Tyler Polak was trying to wait for some help. Jumps just standing up there by Varela, keeping Tyler Polak honest.
Every blade of grass advanced by either side has been bought and paid for in sweat. It's been laborious, the work from both these teams, as you would expect.
Speaking of Hartford earlier, they are playing tonight in the USL Championship, losing to Indy early at home, the team that Greenville beat to reach the semi-finals. Talking to Rick Wright about that game. He was saying, obviously, Cano Smith, the Rhode Island manager, also from Bermuda, like Rick Wright. Cano was saying he'd love to have a Bermudan all Bermudan final in that little chat they had recently. Maybe Cano giving some notes about Hartford to Rick Wright as well. He said they're similar to Indy, big physical team.
That might get the attention of the referee. Walter Varela avoided the yellow card for stopping that counterattack earlier.
I'm sure that's what Brendan Fricke is campaigning for here. Just an unnecessary foul from Varela. He was just trying to shepherd that one out for a goal kick. At least deserved a chat from referee Marich. Not sure if he did get one off screen here.
Nonetheless, it is given as a free kick at least. Off the hand of Ropapa Mensah, said that a lot tonight. Kivifta battling with Fricke, who was able to win that war of will. These teams refusing to keep it on the floor. Kamali Green snaking away, has guided it into Punanjaron. Vinberg dodging the danger and linking now. Walter Varela, who finds the feet of Mikey Lopez and has it returned. Wada dropping in. And he brings Nathan Messer into the fold. Ollie Wright's calling for it in the half space. Messer tries a cross instead, and it's caught effortlessly by Rankenberg. For a team in Portland who is scoring goals as freely as they have at any point in their infant history, they have been subdued today, and the hole could get deeper. Robles lining Vinberg. Tyler Polak and Robles again. Centrally for Evan Lee, ricocheting out for a corner kick.
Nice bit of interplay there between Robles and Polak. I was looking for Evan Lee. Ended up coming off a Portland player and out for a corner. Connor Evans with the in-swinger here, you'd have to think. Robles going short though.
Now Greenville had been one of the best teams in the league in terms of the aerial department. 8 headed goals on the year is tied to the top of the division. But they've only had 1 in these last 6 games. As Evans takes aim, down by Mensah! Another stellar save from Hunter Morse.
Yeah, Hunter Morse single-handedly keeping this game at a 1-goal deficit. This was a bit of a mess at the front post here. Mensah was in the mix. Scooped away just inside the post. Oh, Green was there as well.
Excellent instinctive goalkeeping from Hunter Morse. Guarding the gate again as Greenville unable to make anything of that moment. It's Ollie Wright. He only needs 1 moment to change the game as he starts to build some momentum. Releasing the ball to Pat Langlois. Messer in the sidecar. Wada and Langlois. Finally, Greenville get a sniff of it. Messer has it back in Langlois at the end line. The cross comes away from Kavifta. Only Wright lurking, but missing out to Evan Lee. Now Michel Poon-Angeron. Into 2 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, Portland finally showing a bit of urgency. Pace here in the final third. We haven't seen it since those first 15 minutes.
They haven't scored a ton of first half goals. I believe on the year only 11 for them. Looking for one late. Kamali Green. Michel Poon-Angeron lifting one to Mikey Lopez. Wada in a soft spot. Gets by one. Masashi Wada! A goal from the gods from Masashi Wada. A touch of class from him as he levels the tie late on in the first half.
Yeah, that's what this first half performance had been missing from Portland. She mentioned finding a little soft spot, just abused Brandon Fricke. A real piece of class from the Portland midfielder. And the equalizer is Portland's. He just knocked it around one side of Fricke. He ran around the other side. Got a little flat-footed, didn't have any help.
It's stylish, it's audacious, it's Masashi Wada, and it's 1-1. 2 goals on the skip for him. And he torments Greenville once more, as he did in the state of Maine. One of the best halves of play for Rick Wright's men. All goes pear-shaped late.
Yeah, just a bit of a lapse in concentration and keeping an eye. You know, Wada and Wright are the 2 guys you really have to keep an eye on in that final third. And Wada just given far too much space there. They made Greenville pay the ultimate price. So
that may bring us to the close of this half.
It will certainly change Rick Wright's halftime conversation as well.
Have to think so.
Great time to score right before the break.
Portland pull it out of the fire in half number 1. Gridlocked. Beyond the first 45 and then some. Masashi Wada writes the last word. Ropapa Mensah's early go-ahead erased.
Yeah, sets things up for a very, very interesting second 45 minutes. We'll see what adjustments both of these 2 coaches make going into the second half.
Coverage to come. Greenville disoriented. Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report on the other side of a break as we sit currently 1-1 in the state of South Carolina. And so, much more to go. It is of tight confines and high tension here in the Palmetto State. Greenville and Portland at odds. Much more to come after break.
Dance like nobody's watching. Except when people are watching, like your roommate and the new boyfriend you forgot she was bringing over. Believe in yourself. But know your limits, because right before an interview really isn't the time to try being a hairstylist. Anything is possible. So yes, winning is possible. But so is not winning, which means sometimes the best way to play is to save some possibility for another day. The South Carolina Education Lottery, supporting better players and a better you.
At Johnston Orthodontics, we combine art and science to create your perfect smile. After a thorough exam with x-rays and digital models, we design custom aligners tailored just for you. With our on-site 3D resin printer, these designs come to life, ensuring a perfect fit every time. Ready to tame your smile? Call us today at Johnston Orthodontics.
At Piedmont Natural Gas, being a part of the communities we serve is important to us, because to us, community begins with you. We strive to address the needs of our communities by investing time and resources to help improve the quality of life for our customers. For over 60 years, we have funded programs that support education, the environment, and community impact. Our Energy Assistance Program, Share the Warmth, helps customers pay their energy bills. We're committed to helping our neighbors by powering the vitality of our communities.
Flights from GSP International Airport just got easier. Breeze Airways now offers nonstop flights to 8 cities nationwide. Enjoy low fares, no change or cancellation fees, and convenient nonstop service. Make your next trip seriously nice on Breeze Airways. Visit flybreeze.com to book your flight from GSP today.
Here at the break, Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report coming up. Game tied here. Let us work out the tension in a close one in this one. Call Upstate Spine and Sport, the official chiropractor and massage therapist of the Greenville Triumph. Upcoming schedule, something to massage for Greenville Triumph as they try and carry the weight of the Jägermeister Cup. But for Portland Hearts of Pine, big story is plenty of home games for them in their final 10. 6 of them in this backloaded schedule. They have more games to play than anybody in USL League One.
Yeah, obviously, as we mentioned earlier, a bit of a break before that big one against the Red Wolves, and there's certainly winnable games. Richmond, Texoma, Union Omaha on fire of late. We'll see where they are in early October.
Reigning champions making that late push. As for Greenville Triumph, we already told you that they've got that big game to mull over at Hartford Athletic. That's on the 10th of September. It's a congested run for them as they try and balance multiple plates on their respective hand and heads.
Yeah, some longer trips, especially that one to Spokane in late September. Who knows what the weather will be like there at that point in the fall.
We told you about the Jägermeister Cup game against Hartford. Here's what's going on in that competition. 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, September 10th. It all gets going. Rhode Island FC and Sacramento Republic. Rhode Island looking for the first installation to their trophy cabinet in their home venue in Tidewater Landing. And then, of course, the main attraction for Greenville Triumph fans against Hartford Athletic following at 7:30. Plenty of merriment in the ground. It's 1-1 at the break. More halftime coverage coming up on the other side of a break.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Strikes with the right and opens the scoring. A dream start for the home side. Wow, what a strike from Westchester, and it's Prince Sadie.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
And Rhode Island are into a major semifinal. It's Hartford the lead. Greenville is on the semifinals. Sacramento is heading to the semifinals.
What exactly is a Sully steamer? Our sandwiches are made to order, which means once you've taken a look at our big menu and narrowed down your options, we go to work. Our sandwiches are stuffed with fresh, flavorful ingredients and then placed in our special steamer until the sandwich gets warm and soft and fuses all the flavors together to achieve the peak of tastiness. Are you hungry yet?
They're not here by accident. It's not by chance.
You know, you only get one chance to make a first impression.
The game day environment is unlike anything I've experienced. It's loud, it's authentically Maine.
Even if the supporter doesn't play on the pitch, we fight together.
Don't get many opportunities to be a part of something brand new. We do have a responsibility to set the foundation.
People are coming here because they know soccer and they want to watch.
Portland Hearts of Pine, they've been the talk of the town in USL League One as we continue our coverage of this match on the Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report. And a large part of all the buzz has been this man, the player of the week, announced today, Ollie Wright. He's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, deservedly so, but certainly been held in check in the first half of this game, but still have for him to do some damage.
And as we look at the team of the week, good assumption that Ollie Wright will be included. Yeah, can probably guarantee that. Sean Vinberg gets his first goal for Portland, makes that team as well as Michel Poon-Andron.
Yeah, you can see Damien Villadere on there. It's been a while since we've seen him on a USL 1 team of the week.
Prior to the sale of Luis Alvarez, was the most expensive sale out of USL League One to the championship. As for the table, his side looking up at the playoffs in 12th. As for Madison, have work to do. Many others as well, but it is such a tight race right there at the bottom, 7 down to 14.
Yeah, the usual chaos, and we'll see in a minute. Richmond with a nice lead so far over Westchester. That would vault them a couple of spots up the table as well.
And the scores from around the division, as you see there, Richmond's out in front, as you said. Landon Johnson off the bench to get one of those goals. Injury to Josh Kirkland, apparently. That could be significant, so we'll keep eyes on that. Charlotte trying to stop their free fall as they play Chattanooga Red Wolves on Saturday as well. Plenty of good games to sink your teeth into, as well as the second half of our game, which is on the other end of a break. 1-1 the score. It's a big 45 coming in South Carolina.
Just breathe. Just breathe. Breathe. Woo! Let's take this thing higher. Higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher. Non-stop. Take it to the top even when the ball drops. My man, we go higher. Woo! Let's take this thing. Non-stop. It's time to go higher.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we're proud to be a family-owned practice, serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care, from our family to yours.
Every day, we get the privilege to serve you, sharing local stories on all your screens.
The first alert on breaking news sent through the Fox Carolina News app.
Serving you with the earliest heads up on storms through the Fox Carolina First Alert weather app. Live and on-demand newscasts.
Fox Carolina Investigations.
On your streaming TV.
Your stories told right here. Fox Carolina News.
I'm Rick Wright, head coach of the Greenville Triumph Soccer Club. The Triumph play here on Palmetto Sports and Entertainment.
Watch using antenna on channel 21.2 or on Spectrum 703. The Greenville Triumph Play Here. Palmetto Sports.
El Greenville Triumph y Liberty están orgullosos de asociarse con Telemundo Carolina del Sur. Vean Telemundo Carolina del Sur para mantenerte informado con noticias locales en español y disfrutar de toda la increíble programación de Telemundo. Disponible gratis con antena en el canal 31.1.
End of intermission here in Greenville, South Carolina. The Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report closing down as we take a look back at an excellent first half of play between Greenville Triumph and Portland Hearts of Pine. These highlights are brought to you by Seesaw, and it was Greenville etching the first one.
Yeah, ball in from Toby sitting on that right side and almost nodded into his own net, but what a save from Hunter Morse, the first of a couple he had in this first 45.
It would be a common theme in what was a dominant first half. Kamali Green, it turns into a comedy of errors for him off the top of his head into the path of a very hungry Ropapa Mensah, who wastes no time in digging in as he gets his side ahead inside the first 15 minutes, 1-0.
Yeah, it was a tough one for Kamali Green. He perhaps should have just let it go. Just headed it outside, didn't do anything, and it was a fine finish. And there's another save by Morse. This one probably the easiest he had to make all half.
It was really a dominant half for Greenville Triumph as they peppered the Portland goal.
Chance here. Heavenly and Robles just scuffs it a little bit. Get it past Morse.
But it matters not at the end of the day as Greenville get one last look at goal before being wounded here by Masashi Wada.
Yeah, just far too much space here. No closing down by Polak. Chapo Herrera let Wada get behind him. And a lovely little move to get around Brandon Pricky. And a quality finish by Masashi Wada to tie things up just before the break.
First half stats tell a picture that is very much so akin to the video you just saw. Greenville less of the ball, much more of the danger created.
For sure, and a crazy stat I want to give you. Evan Lee only had five passes in that first half. 3 of them created chances. We saw one on the Robles there. Crazy stat. Evan Lee, got to get him around the ball a little more if they want to create more opportunities in that final third.
I believe that's called efficiency.
Yes, that will be the one way to describe it.
Evan Lee back in the 9 today. An interesting deployment as sun sets here in South Carolina. And we set to sail in the second half. But before that, one more reminder. Big time action coming up. A big opportunity for Greenville Triumph as they will see Hartford Athletic down the galley. Great chance in the final of the Jägermeister Cup. Its first year in this particular composition of the competition.
Yeah, listen, Triumph had such a chance last year to get to the knockout stages and didn't. Made it this year with obviously a tougher group. And now with a chance to reach the championship game. Hopefully, League One fans from all teams will be cheering the Triumph on in that game against Hartford.
Communal efforts as we once more examine the live pictures. A beautiful night here in South Carolina as these teams climb the spire towards the apex, the important bit of the campaign, and both teams with plenty to stake as they push for the playoffs late on. Greenville Triumph in good form aside from the Texoma game. Had been unbeaten in 6 games prior to that one. Their last in the league. It was the first time they had been shut out in 11. They've already seen to it that they've gotten a goal here today. They were pegged back by Portland Hearts of Pine, a team that in their own right have only lost 1 match in their last 7 in the league.
I don't see any immediate changes for either side at the half. Evan Lee obviously hasn't gone far in the game for quite a while, so we'll see how long he lasts in this second half. Got the likes of Anguiano, Zakowski, Marsh on the bench, Soto.
On the other side of that, Portland were able to change the game late as it was tied 1-1 at the breaking at Charlotte Independence the last time out. Did that with JT Kamara, who once injected into the game, provided a goal and an assist. See if Bobby Murphy maybe turns to him to open everything up in this second 45. Buckle up, Greenville and Portland. A wry smile from Evan Lee, the veteran, on the day that he makes his 195th appearance for the club. The most seasoned man in the history of USL League One sends us in motion here in Greenville. And he gets another touch straight away, just what the doctor ordered. On his 6th pass of the game, puts it awry.
Not one of his better ones, a little too much mustard on that.
It appears that there has been a change. Titus Washington, he is the one called upon by Bobby Murphy, as he is put into the contest for playing Noah Kavifta. Lobbed in towards the corner, and it will listlessly carry out over the line.
Yeah, Kavifta with a very quiet first half, only 15 touches. No shots for him, only 1 touch in the opponent's box. As his rookie pro season continues to get off to a bit of a slow start. Obviously, tough spot for him coming into this squad as he did 2/3 of the way into the season.
Titus Washington, a reservist in his own right until recent weeks, as Azam Vliadi's injury has thrust him into an expanded role. Been playing excellently in the matches he has seen time in. He's fought off injuries. 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 5 appearances, including a couple goals against Greenville Triumph in the last outing against them, and 1 goal in his last game played against Westchester on the road last week.
Yeah, no word on Liadi. He's expected to be out a couple of months. It's approaching that now, so it would certainly be a lovely addition to the roster if he can get healthy here in the next few weeks.
He's really coming into himself. Had been one of the best 9s in the league. The point of his injury, having already tallied 3 goals in the division. Masashi Wada, who scored in that first half, gets going here. Washington's first touch, and now Varela, who has a think and a drive inside, and Pat Langlois off a deflection, and it bounces out of play for a corner with a mark left on the head of Zane Bub.
Yeah, Zane Bub trying to shake that one off. It's a hammer from Langlois. See where if you can see where it hits Bub here. Something in the head shoulder area. Nice little dink inside by Varela. Saw Langlois coming. Certainly wasn't an easy shot. Yeah, looked like it almost took Bub's head off.
Now, is this the moment that Portland get their first league corner goal? Slung in, dangerously so. Just nicked away, it looked like, by Brendan Fricke. And Messer had not read the same script as Walter Varela. Greenville look a little bit dazed out of the locker room. So hard to regain your balance after such a commanding half, as it got away from them in the final exchanges. Fricke losing his footing. Wada's gonna at least put some bit of inspection on a ball behind, as Frankenberg has enough time to let it go for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's been a bit of the story the last couple of matches, the Alta match and the Texoma match. Greenville probably having the edge in both of those contests, but coming away with just a 1 point. So we've gone through phases of this season, obviously without Leo Castro. Things made it a little more difficult in the final third.
Champa Herrera is chopped down. Portland starting to find the scoring stroke. Late on in first halves of play, they have been one of the slowest starting teams in the league.
Of course, that 5-4 result against Charlotte looked good at the time, but Charlotte have been shipping goals at an absolutely alarming rate. They've allowed 4 in 3 of the last 4 games and allowed 3 against Texoma just before that.
Portland knows something about that. Scoring 4, the most they had ever scored in a USL League One game at the weekend against that very same Charlotte Independence. And a game that was 1-1 at the break. The South Carolinians this time probing the target over the head of Morse and helped home. It is a neat and tidy flick that breaks the ducts. Rodrigo Robles does it again.
What a cheeky finish by Robles, but watch this ball by Toby Sims, and Hunter Morris has to take a little bit of blame for this. He came out to try and get it, was nowhere near that ball, and a beautiful little dinked finish in the back of the net by Robles with the outside of his right foot.
Float like a butterfly. sting like a killer bee, and Rodrigo Robles has restored the lead for Greenville. Really feels like, as you take the full catalog of Rodrigo Robles' 2-year Greenville career, this is his full potential, his final form, as he continues to add to what's been a breakout season with his 5th goal in the league. His 10th goal contribution in the last 13 games. Only had 1 in the first 8.
Yeah, he certainly found his role. He is just complete chaos. He goes all over the place. Rick Ray will tell us that he sometimes doesn't know where he's going, but as long as he's there on the end of balls like that, to give your team a 1-goal lead early in the second half, Rick Ray won't mind too much what else he does. He has a great sense of where to be and when, and those sort of half chances.
Central space for Connor Evans, who would hope to compound here. Sims switches the points. Robles feeling himself a little bit too much.
Not quite as good of a touch there with the outside of the right boot, but the idea was great. Greenville reeling just a few minutes ago, and now it's the Hearts.
Well, they will be telling themselves that they dug themselves out once, they could do it again. Walter Varela grabs the shovel. Slipped ahead towards Titus Washington, who loses the race to Zane Bupp. This is much more like it for the neutral than the Texoma game in Greenville's last outing 10 days ago.
It was a shame for Hunter Morse after that great first half, but completely misjudged that cross by Toby Sims. Was nowhere near it. I mean, the quality of the cross would have caused him trouble, and whatever he'd done, I think. That might be it. Booking, no? Lopez might get away with that one. No, he won't.
It was a monstrous tackle from Mikey Lopez, who for the 9th time this year will have his name taken.
Yeah, just rolled up on the leg of Robles. That one will hurt.
Just confirmation of that yellow card. He is the 2nd player in this game that will see the colors as he joins Michel Bounangeron. Greenville strengthening their grip. Ropapa-Mensah applying a little bit of heat at the back. And Mikey Lopez, who clears the lines. Wada scrambling to win it. Has the pace to maybe get away from Brendan Fricke, who's not going to see himself worked over twice.
Yeah, those long strides allowing him to catch up there. Yeah, first time we've said Mensah's name in a while. Other than the goal, didn't see a ton of action in around the box in that first half, and then a couple of headers. Ooh, careful.
Varela with a nifty little flick. Has it returned to him from Titus Washington, an inspecting ball across the box. Evan Lee just able to escape the pressure, and now it's switched. Ropapa-Mensah with an angle. Vinberg in contests. Ropapa-Mensah, still Ropapa-Mensah. Robles! That's not going to work.
What a ball once again from Toby Sims. His distribution from that right back spot is something special. Always seems to find a man with those long balls. Mensah with a little spin, found Robles, but his shot was wayward.
Wayward is a word for it. The life and times of Rodrigo Robles, who has probably earned the right to maybe exercise his license to shoot. That's his goal that has the side set apart at 2-1. Only moments into the second half if you're just now rejoining us.
I think every player loves having that guy on the team that you're not sure what you're going to get. You know, there could be a moment of magic in there somewhere like Robles is capable of, but there's also moments like that.
It is a sport that rewards the spontaneous. Portland looking to provide exactly that. Walter Varela and Mikey Lopez. Lopez shuffling. Lopez undone by Chapa Herrera. and a pair of USL Championship veterans find themselves nose to nose. Herrera winning that particular scrap.
Yeah, great work there by Chapa. Standing up strong, not committing to anything off his feet. You see what Lopez was trying to do, was trying to cut back. So sometimes when you see those penalties, leaving the leg out. Good job by Herrera there, just poking it away and then earning the free kick.
Portland will not feel comfortable. I should say Greenville. Really, both teams will not feel comfortable. Portland will understand that they're in trouble if they can't find a result here. Greenville on the other side of the aisle will understand that. One goal probably is not something to rest on your laurels for, having already seen a lead escape on the day. Polak. Evan Lee. And Polak again, who slashes in across. This time Kamali Green. Much more useful header. Evans. Connor Evans gives it a flash. Another ball in, this time blocked. Greenville will not loosen their grasp on the game itself as they probe around on the far flank. Continue this attack.
Toby Sims with more of a hopeful ball there than anything. Yeah, Greenville certainly grabbed this game and taken it by the scruff of the neck here in the early moments of this second half.
They have been well worth the lead. 7 shots on target out of 14 total. For the most part, it's been a bit of a turkey shoot. Greenville have dominated the game. Portland's opportunistic in the moment provided.
Greenville have only had 13 touches in the opposition's box, but 9 of those have been shots. Get percentages like that. From behind with the hoodie, Bobby Murphy. Trying to find some answers here.
Well-dressed man. I would reckon that's his signature neat period hoodie. Of course, not in our immediate line of sight. Rodrigo Robles beneath the studs of Ropapa-Mensah. Of course, for Bobby Murphy, his defensive bulwark has not been so neat today. Just starting to become a bit of a concerning problem for Portland, papering over the cracks. That fact, a couple of wins against Charlotte Independence and Westchester, but conceded twice in both of those games. They have again here today. Messer making headway as he's chopped down. Simulation is the word, apparently.
Oh, we haven't seen too many of those given in USL League One history, but if there's going to be one given, that's what it should be for one there, and there's no contact at all. If he's not given the foul, then he has to give the yellow for simulation. That Toby Sims telling Messer to get up quite deservedly.
Now, Ross, you're the one who has been able to read the sacred tablets of IFAB and knows all the rules. Simulation's an automatic yellow card, no?
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it given as much over the last few years as we did. We had one little period, it seemed like it was being given every other game. Yeah, that was certainly one there. Messer was clearly trying to deceive referee Maric.
I think at the end of the day, it was ultimately given as a throw, so the referee has just avoided that entirely.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Messer's certainly given a warning, I would imagine.
It's Titus Washington giving it a go. And off the back heel and out for a corner kick. He shows his quality immediately.
Certainly giving a bit different look than Noah Kavifta, a little more physically gifted. The left foot shot away, blocked by Toby Sims.
And so, it is their difference maker, Ollie Wright, who's had little impact so far. Ropapa-Mensah meets it in the air. Then again from Connor Evans, and once more from Polak.
A little bit of head tennis here.
And finally, put on the path of Ollie Wright, who scans the scene. A cross in from deep from Messer. Well located. Pollock able to sweep up. Now Walter Varela. Poonandron opening up. And Walter Varela again. He had a pair of assists against Westchester. Langua stroking one into the path of Ollie Wright again. Toby Sims says half the reading of him all contest, and now we're gone. Greenville dodged the punch. Portland starting to find a bit of a beachhead, though.
Just want to ease their way back into the second half. Could extend this spell of possession here.
Titus Washington making things uncomfortable. Washington and Ollie Wright in field. Fanning out towards Nathan Messer. Ollie Wright. Tap dances by Evan Lee and skills it along to Michel Poonandron. Now Nathan Messer steps over and slides in a crossing effort that will, with a bounce, be a skipping stone out for a goal kick. Portland preps their changes. An early call for Evan Southern, who's played a growing influence in recent weeks. As a reservist, you had to imagine JT Kamara was going to come into the game at some point soon. It looks like Ollie Wright has been given the hook.
Wow. Interesting decision. JT Kamara provides a little bit more pace, quickness than Ollie Wright. Disappointing night for him, ends just after the hour mark, but obviously great performance over the weekend, and perhaps feeling that weekend action a little bit here as we pass into the final half an hour.
JT Kamara more than happy to play the role of fire starter in his absence. Ollie Wright. Not on header from Ropapa-Mensah. Robles catching up. He's dragged down. And if the referee had given any kind of interference there, it likely was a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. But it is a fair play in the estimation of Mario Maric. Pushed out of harm's way by Pollock. Ropapa-Mensah exploring the wide space. Chapa Herrera streaming forward. Robles dials up across to the back post. Corvino sorting it out and lifting it along to Evan Lee, and now Toby Sims, who left too much of the ball in reach of Walter Varela. Southern up ahead to Titus Washington and Brendan Fricke. As the last line of defense he so often is, has given the ball back away. Poonandron and Washington ducking wide for Walter Varela, all out of sorts now this game. Varela paving into the path of Messer and out for a goal kick, and a chance finally, breathlessly, to look back at that maybe dog cell.
Wow, I mean, the attempt to get to the ball was not a good one from Sean Vinberg. Was there a grab of the jersey? I'm not sure if the referee had a great view of it. You thought that the assistant referee on that far side may have done so, but no decision, and Portland get away with one there, you'd have to think.
One today, Josh Lampkins, Alexandru Foccia is the other. Lorenzo Lopez is working the board.
No subs so far yet for Greenville. Mentioned Evan Lee. Perhaps Carlos Anguiano comes in with the score as things are more defensive-minded.
Evan Lee set to get in the cross. It's taken off his toes and out for a goal kick. If the officiating crew does need a character witness, maybe more on that after this moment, as Evan Lee absorbs a little bit of contact. We'll say this: Lorenzo Lopez, a graduate of the Arizona State University in the esteemed Walter Cronkite School, where he's a classmate of mine.
There you go.
Journalistic ethics in full swing as the fourth commitment to the truth. Sean Vinberg, commitment to trying to get his team back into the game.
I can't say too much considering the most famous FAU grad is probably Carrot Top. With me at close second.
Speaking of Carrot Top, Ben Zakowski put into the game for Greenville Triumph. A spark of vibrance off the bench for Rick Wright. Rodrigo Robles got the goal that got them ahead. He will watch on nervously from the bench from here on out.
Yeah, perhaps we'll see Corvina move a little centrally. Zakowski out left now. You imagine that would be the change. There he is on the ball now. Someone can certainly shoot from distance, gives him a better chance of doing so there in the middle of the park.
Walter Varela firmly has traded the wings, now on the far flank and at the end line, and Toby Sims is putting in a masterclass on one-on-one defending today, out for a corner.
Yeah. Get Ollie right in his pocket. Now trying to do the same to Varela. Mentioned dealing with a slight injury over the last few weeks. Appears to be okay tonight.
Not a lot of bodies up for this corner kick. Swung in, swung out.
Second straight corner with a clearest header for Apapa Mensah, doing his job at the other end. Good to see.
He scored in this game. Now he is protecting the den and setting up shop in defense. You'd expect that Greenville might start to take a more Tar-Heeled approach down the stretch here. It all becomes about situational management this time of year. And from Masashi Wada, Southern unable to sort it out. Greenville have been a tough out in this particular venue. Only lost the 3 home games this year. Kamali Green. Lopez. It's a good touch from JT Kamara. Trying to play protagonist once more today. Zane Bob does expertly defensively there.
Felt
and
that
is
one.
taking a blow.
Yeah, lovely touch, as you mentioned, by JT Kamara. Great to see him back in USL League One. Spent some time there with North Carolina.
Fans, don't miss the action. Secure tickets today at TriumphTix.com. Greenville had that long slew of home games to start the year. They've been away from home for plenty of time as of late. Chance for fans to see these Triumph boys a couple more times before the season comes to a close. Here's Evan Lee. Spotted in the middle. Connor Evans trying to disguise a pass that does not get the better of Mikey Lopez. Nor does this one. Walter Varela intercepting. He's clattered by Toby Sims, who's won the ball. Letting him play today.
Well, a tackle by Toby Sims. He knew he had to make it too, because Portland were trying to get the other way in a hurry. Sims had mistimed that tackle. Could have been a yellow card for sure. Got just enough of it. Tempered the pace just enough, so it wasn't seemed as reckless. Toby Sims continuing to impress.
Referee was right there on top of it. Hoisting wide for Walter Varela. Tied up by Toby Sims. Michel Poonandron. Messer and Masashi Wada check of the rearview mirror, and in doing so, illuminating the fact that there was nowhere to go with it. Kamali Green tries it down the far side. Messer and Wada again. Masashi Wada. Summoned by Titus Washington, Michelle Poon-Angeron. Creeping like kudzu into the attacking third, Portland Hearts of Pine. Titus Washington cars across into JT Kamara, who blows by Polak, and had his shot saved away by Rankenberg.
Yeah, Tyler Polak had to not be a happy man when he saw JT Kamara come on, because we knew what he did last time to him in this matchup, and just too quick with the feet, got around the veteran. That's a big save by Rankenberg. Made himself big, got that knee up there.
In fairness to him, he wouldn't have known much about that. Polak in his way. Just good instincts there to get in the right kind of spot at the near post and deny JT Kamara. Portland see a chance from a set piece. Ball coming to Titus Washington, who takes it down. Kamara now. Portland's digging trenches at this point. 20 minutes from the end of this game and under siege. Off the head of Polak. Kamara settling first touch. Nobody can take the ball off him. Very similar impact so far to what he did last game, but he's giving it away here. Kamali Green back in defense. Lopez swooping into the final third and into the box. Evan Lee and Ropapa Mensah providing some width. Sneaking in to Chapa Herrera, who pivots away from Kamali Green. Zakowski. Mikey Lopez did well to deny any reversal of play.
Yeah, Greenville going to try and slow things down here. The last 5 minutes of play got a little loose, going both ways. Onside?
That may stay on.
No.
And play is summoned to a stop. Seems potentially for a pair of substitutions, if not three, from Greenville. Ivan Ajakwa, Zeke Soto, and Siobhan Marsh, who scored in the first rendition of this playing. Back up in Portland's a trio of changes for Rick Wright.
Looks like Brandon Fricky making his way off. Ajakwa capable of playing pretty much anywhere on the pitch.
The natural deduction would be to see in this instance that he will play center back from here on out. And it's the journeyman, the statesman of the club in tandem that are pulled from the game as Evan Lee also makes way. Pascal Corvino exited as well for Siobhan Marsh, the masked man. And that will be your Upstate Spine and Sport adjustment of the match. It's a big rolling of the dice for Rick Wright as he shakes things up in the 74th minute.
You have to wonder if Brandon Fricky was feeling something, because after a 10-day break, you'd think the captain should have been able to go 90 minutes. Hopefully nothing major for the Triumph. So Ajakwa will drop in alongside Zane Bubb. Not someone you want to be making a change unless it's forced with 15 minutes to go, you'd think.
Hop, skip, and a jump for Walter Varela. Jolted for a throw. These feel like the defining moments late in a season. Greenville playing their role, trying to hold on after scoring late, rather early, I should say, in this second half. They were scored upon late in the first half. Restore their advantage immediately in this 45 minutes. Portland trying to chase it back down and get a crucial point on the road. Wada has gone in too stiffly.
Chapa Herrera asking for the card from his backside. Bunejeron coming all the way over. Wants to get this game going. Evan Ajakwa, you gotta love the shirt tucked in. One of the few still to do that.
Here he is.
Let's ask Rick Wright about that next time we chat to him. Just, is there a reasoning, just something he's always done? Is it something his mom tells him he has to do?
Not tucked in is Toby Sims. Advancing into the attack. Fought off by Nathan Messer, and there may be opportunity up ahead.
Yeah, Sims down, feeling something there.
Southern can't hang tight. Javon Larson away by Connor Evans. Sims is still down.
Yeah, Rick Wright does have DJ Benton at his disposal on the bench, can play either fullback position.
Now Zeke Soto's gone down, and Greenville apparently down to 9 men. Wada. Both players back to their feet and doing their best to get back in defense. Walter Varela. And Messer. And he is uprooted by Zane Bob. And Sims will immediately just play out of touch and stop play.
Yeah, Sims was laboring to try and get back to his spot. He may be done.
Zeke Soto struggling too, not 5 minutes after being subbed in.
Just felt something there as he tried to stop. Perhaps tweaking that issue he's been feeling over the last few weeks.
This could be nightmare time for Greenville Triumph as Sims examines himself. Brendan Fricke also already taken out of the game. Rick Wright potentially without 2 of his leaders as he tries to defend the lead that was provided by Rodrigo Robles. Revisiting that moment. Sims starting that move with his throw-in.
Yeah, 1-2 with Corvino, and then swings this ball in. Morse comes a flapping, was never going to get there. Just was hoping the Triumph player would find the end of it. It was Robles at the back post. It looked like Toby Sims' day may be done. DJ Benton had a good performance in that loss to Texoma.
He is back to his feet. Of course, Greenville's season changed when he came through the door.
He certainly doesn't want to come off.
Greenville, having made that triple change only moments ago, can make 2 more. Toby Sims, of course, cannot continue.
So he's going to try and test it out.
For now, Greenville down to 10 men.
Being waved back on, he's going to give it a go. I expect Portland might try to go down that side immediately, thinking about it.
Chapa Herrera has it. A loose touch from Tyler Polak, and pouncing are Portland. It's Walter Varela. Racing around him is Nathan Messer. JT Kamara! Portland, pulse level, 2-2. It's JT Kamara. Back-to-back games with a goal for him.
You felt like it had been coming. Watch Kamara here just floating to the edge of the box. Chapa Herrera once again not paying attention to perhaps who he should be. Leaving Kamara in far too much space, and the man with his qualities not going to miss too often from there. Jakwa tried to get in the way.
It's all come undone again for Rick Wright and his not-so-merry man. JT Kamara, he will claim the goal. Certainly took a heavy hit. It looked off potentially Zane Bubb there. And with the bookkeeper Signed and sealed as a goal for JT Kamara. And Portland's thirsty for more. Siobhan Marsh snatches back for Greenville. A playable ball in the corner. Kamara off his toenails and out. Greenville were down a man at the moment of the goal, but Toby Sims has come back in. He enters a very different game than the one he left with the injury.
Yeah, Portland just doing their job, hanging around on the road, taking advantage of a substitution. Brandon Fricke, perhaps he would have been there if he was on the pitch.
A chance emerging for Greenville triumph. The chance is quickly extinguished by Kamali Green, and the foul is given against Ropapa Mensah.
Yeah, just coming through the back of Nathan Messer there. No more, says referee Marich. Only the 2 cards so far for Lopez and Poon Angeron. Angeron's came very, very early. He's behaved himself since then.
A little less than 10 minutes left to play, plus stoppage time. The search for separation commences. 3 points, good as gold. First week of September, as the playoff push, the run-in in full swing. Certainly feels that way. High header. Connor Evans gets more than one look at it, but Titus Washington, the one carrying away. Now Evans has it, confiscated by Masashi Wada. Who wants the ball? It's a throw in for Greenville.
Yeah, they just take a breath here and try and maintain some possession for a little bit. It's been all Portland of late here. Portland now with 8 goals in the final 15 minutes of games. Only Charlotte with more, 9.
They have almost taken turns today. Very even matching of teams that find themselves in similar suiting in the table.
Yeah, this result, if it holds, will of course please everybody else around them. Although we mentioned, do have 2 games in hand on Greenville.
Masashi Wada. Mailing a ball wide for Walter Varela. Masashi Wada starting to really influence the game for Portland. And on cue, ahead for Titus Washington, and now Southern just sneaking in for a touch.
Rankenberg tried to get there, just beaten to it by the fresh legs of Southern.
Greenville certainly less organized without Brendan Fricke in the game right now. Yellow card.
Well, he was warned after the last one. There was just too many fouls from Mensah. And referee keeping his word and giving him a card for the next one. Here's a look at that chance here. Lovely little flicked header back inside. Rankenberg got a bit of a late start, but got a piece of it. Can't tell from that angle if there's enough of a piece that would have kept it off target. Yeah, a little harsh on Rapapa perhaps, but just a little too much contact for the man whose opinion matters, referee Marich.
First booking of the match against a Greenville player. On a night where Ropapa Mensah struck the match and started the scoring. There have been 3 goals since. Masashi Wada gaining the first to come in the wake of that opening tally. Then Rodrigo Robles and JT Kamara evening things once more for Portland, who aren't comfortable just taking the single point. Messer dispossessed. Racing in is Poon Andron.
Watch out.
Who has to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. The referee's reached for the pocket. A second yellow, and everything changes with the red.
Yeah, he's claiming he may have got the ball, but it was far too much pace and recklessness in that challenge from Poon Andron in his position. Oof. Just came in there with too much venom for Mario Marich. Saw enough there from behind. Just a crazy challenge when you have a yellow. You've just tied things up. Now you're going going to be down to 10 men for the final 5+ minutes. He obviously missed the next match as well.
Tough break for Michel Poonandron, whose thoughtless delaying of game 2 minutes into the contest, 83 minutes later on, has been the pivotal plot point.
Question is now, can Greenville take advantage?
The moment that happens, Rodrigo Robles playing a free kick 2 minutes into the game, 120 seconds in. You had to have at least stowed away something in the back of your mind that could be important down the line. That proves to be the case, as Mickey Riley has trusted to come on and now protects the single point. Walter Varela is the one who makes the spot.
Yeah, Bobby Murphy knows now he's just going to have to try and shut up shop. Unfortunately for Rick Wright, he does have one substitution left, but no real attacking options on the bench remaining. He's got all 4 of those on the field already. The only outfield players remaining on for him, Anthony Patti as a centre back and Carl Sangiano as a defensive-minded midfielder, along with DJ Benton, who I guess could bring some fresh legs on if he needed to. Wanted to really push for those 3 points. Can play midfield.
Chopper Herrera takes a nasty spill. Nothing in that from the goalkeeper, who's entitled to play the ball.
And Reedy River Wright not happy with that. Thinking perhaps Moss went through Siobhan Marsh to get to that ball.
Siobhan Marsh, I beg your pardon.
Let's take another look at it here. Yeah, no, there's no question about that. Was fine. Just a little unlucky from Marsh. Left himself in there exposed. That's Rick Wright about the mask. He said he's not quite ready to get rid of it just yet. It's Portland's first red card of the season in League One play. Not the time to do it though. A bit of a silly mistake from Poonandron. Can Greenville make him pay? That's poor.
It's the first red card for Portland in their league history, in fact.
Valid.
I believe they had one earlier this year in the Jägermeister Cup, but for Michel Poonandron, he now will see his manager get a warning as well.
It's Bobby Murphy pointing to one of his assistants, I think, and saying it wasn't me, it was him.
He is managing a very different contest than he was not 5 minutes ago.
He might take that yellow. It gives a few more seconds off the clock.
Of course, it would be a famous day if Portland can still find a winner. I wonder how much, in terms of resources, they will be willing to give up in pursuing that goal. Kamara in by Lopez, and with a hop in the hands of Gunther Rankenberg. Sims, and now it's with Connor Evans, who's trundled through by Mickey Riley. Tune in to Trial's next home match at 7 p.m. on Saturday, September 13th. First Tormenta FC. Clash of the Classics in that one. And if Greenville can find a go-ahead, a chance to really build some momentum down this closing bend.
Yeah, depending on what happens tonight here in Naples on Saturday, 3 points might be a must there for Greenville against Tormenta.
Sashi Wada wisely running away from the referee.
Tormenta do have a couple of wins in their last 3 games, though. Big one over Madison.
Started to get things going under Mark McKeever, who's taken up as the caretaker after the departure for a long time. Tormenta head man, Ian Cameron. Here's Zeke Soto and Siobhan Marsh. Stuck up very nervously off the deflection from Kamali Green, and Hunter Morse has it.
Could have bounced absolutely anywhere. Luckily for Kamali Green, he just sort of died at his feet. Morse was there to pounce. We'll take his time now here as we head into stoppage time.
Greenville taking up a very different posture after the sending off of Michel Punandron. Have been sitting and absorbing for much of the half. Portland's grabbed the steering wheel again, though. A scouting ball up towards Titus Washington, and now JT Kamara, who blows by Ajakwa and cuts in for Titus Washington, who may have just won it. A potential Washingtonian winner for Portland Hearts of Pine. At the bottom of a pile of Portland joy. Titus Washington was their bane in Portland. He may have just broken Greenville in South Carolina.
JT Kamara's pace just too much. Once again, a Portland player finding himself with too much space in the box. Nobody within a couple of yards. Evans trying to get back and help out. But JT Kamara drawing players in with that lovely run. And Washington with the composed finish.
Titus Washington has torn up the script. Down a man, down a goal not once but twice. Portland, that's plenty of heart for you.
No doubt about it. They weren't satisfied with a point, not with that man JT Kamara on the field, game changer.
Titus Washington proving himself quite the pro. His rookie year, ball in. Beaten back by Vinberg.
It was a brave header by Vinberg. I think he's knocking on the line when he had to.
Greenville staring what would be a cataclysmic turn of events in the face. Ajakwa! Missed by inches.
Lovely little touch and turn by the big man. Saw a potential opening top corner. Morse was beaten. Unfortunately, just couldn't find the back of the net.
A jolt sent through the system of Greenville Triumph. Ivan Ajakwa unable to conjure a rebuttal, even if it is on the smallest of margins. Zakowski, slightly late, slightly over physical. Looks like the referee may have given a free kick.
Yeah, I think Zakowski had a bit of a grab, trying to get around Lopez. Now taking more time off the clock.
A high ball off the head of Washington, who gets on the ends. What fight from him, what grit from Portland. Southern in the corner. And a counter-pressing win. Mickey Riley can't keep it, but first maybe a foul.
Yeah, it's going to be more than that. That was an ugly challenge from Zane Bob.
Greenville are melting down.
Oof. Starts right on the foot. That'll hurt. Really no more than a yellow. You said Greenville, disappointing loss here if this ends this way. Been the better team for the majority of this match, but just a bit of individual brilliance from JT Kamara.
Greenville Triumph have not lost back-to-back league home matches since September of 2023. That is the peril that they are certainly staring at. Portland's results that will ring through the early history of this club if they can hold on. It might ring on decision day at that. Mickey Riley. One last go. Rankenberg, hammered high. Headers won by Vinberg. Sent skyward, Ajakwa down. Lost it to Lopez, away from Kamara. Still going. Cruising wide, from Sims the ball comes. Off the head of Ropapa-Mensah. Over the end line, not across the finish line. It's a corner kick. Everybody forward. Gunther Rankenberg has joined the fray. Portland down to 10 men, defending all 11. Zakowski, it's not a useful ball. And Portland pilfer all 3 points in the Palmetto State. Hearts of Pine play the role of bandit. A famous 3 goals, 3 points for Bobby Murphy and his Marauders.
Yeah, clinicality in the final third when they were given the opportunities by some lapses on the defensive end by Greenville, but deserved 3 points for Portland on the road because of 6 points ahead of the Triumph.
A dizzying contest comes to a close. We break it all down when we return. Portland 3, Greenville 2.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental dental care, from our family to yours.
What exactly is a Sully steamer? Our sandwiches are made to order, which means once you've taken a look at our big menu and narrowed down your options, we go to work. Our sandwiches are stuffed with fresh, flavorful ingredients and then placed in our special steamer until the sandwich gets warm and soft and fuses all the flavors together to achieve the peak of tastiness. Are you hungry yet?
Bobby Murphy, neat but certainly not tidy. A wild riptide of a contest here in South Carolina. Pick and Keller here with Ross Davenport. Ross, we just watched something sincerely special unfold. Greenville threw the first punch early on through Ropapa-Mensah.
Yeah, handed this one by Kamali Green, but it needed a quality finish from the former Chattanooga man. Right-footed first time, past Morse, who'd been stopping everything until that point. Greenville with the early advantage.
Greenville, though, would lose focus in stoppage time in the first half. An early warning shot of what would come later on, but this time it's Masashi Wada.
Yep, a little bit of magic by Wada. Just ghosted into the edge of the box around Fricky. Fired it home right before the break. It will be Greenville that will come out in the second half looking fresh.
Rodrigo Robles, as we continue to move through these GSP International Airport full-time highlights, that might be the best of the bunch from Robles in 2025.
Yeah, Vinberg just lost track of the run by Robles, and still finish with the outside of the foot. We go to 10 minutes to go. Down a man. Portland would find the equalizer. Chapo Herrera is standing there, really not paying attention to where JT Kamara was. The substitution of Brandon Fricky out may have been a big game changer in this one. As Kamara ties things up, and they were not done.
But first, a red card that defined the conditions late on. Punandron thundering in. leaving a mark on the Greenville player and receiving his second yellow card. For the Mainers, it looked troublesome in that moment. It did not look troublesome in this one. JT Kamara starts things off. Titus Washington slipping his marker and stabbing home what would be the three-point clinching final blow.
Yeah, just leaving Herrera and Zakowski in the dust. A little flick back to that man Washington, back healthy again. And on the score sheet, and then all the final stats. 18 shots for Greenville. 26 of those coming in the second half, however.
Rick Wright, that will feel like a shot to the solar plexus. His team played well enough to win, but not well enough to beat Portland Hearts of Pine. On the day, resilience from this side, from the Northeast, as they battle back not once, but twice, and do it shorthanded. This is the final push. It certainly feels that way. For my partner, Ross Davenport, and our entire fantastic cast and crew, the final accounting of things on the day is 3-2. Folks, I've been Peyton Gallagher. What a season, what a game. It rolls into its final phase. Greenville fall to the sword of Portland on this day. Folks, we'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.